Hey guys.
What's your name?
Jason.
Jason, all right.
Hanzo, right?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
So they just kind of explained to me what's going on.
Okay. This is my mom and my dad.
So there's nothing, you have no reason to really take your mother to the hospital. There's nothing wrong with her, she's not sick. Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
She has MS though, you know? Does she have MS?
But that's not a reason to go to the ER.
Yeah.
So to go to the ER, she has something acutely going on right now, and there's nothing.
Does she have round-the-clock 24 hours? And the nurse is there 24 hours a day?
24 hours. And if the nurse has to run out for something, she
And
makes sure
that's
that your
still not-
assistance.
Even if the nurse wasn't there right now, she's completely with it. She's speaking for herself.
Yeah, as long as it's not an emergency, dire emergency, yeah, we're not going to take it.
Right. Did you happen to ask her about what medication she's taking? Or?
Why? Why is that
because
relevant to you?
She has multiple sclerosis. I'm her only son. My claim,
understand
whether I'm
that
lying
you're
or not,
son.
I'm the one who's going to be taking care of my mom.
I understand. Like I said, I understand it's a difficult situation. However, she did sign somebody as a healthcare proxy. I am allowed to talk about her health concerns with her healthcare proxy. She has not signed it over to you, so I can't discuss the medications with you. But
my father's healthcare proxy. That's all I'm concerned with. Right?
In any event, it kind of, I don't mean to sound blunt, but it kind of excludes you either way.
Yeah.
So I've spoken to all the parties involved, and everybody is medically good.
You talked to the child that lives there?
I spoke to the person that you called 911 for, and she is fine.
I see. Okay. And she said she doesn't have to, but did she say she would be going over to the hospital to make any
That's
decisions
not
for my
something
dad?
that I can share with you if you're not involved in her health care. I'm sorry.
You know what could make this really simple? And that way I don't ever have to call or help or try to get assistance from my mom or dad or sister. Just have her say to one of you, we're fine, I don't need him to ever come back again. And then from there, when you think about
on
the
the medical
simplicity,
standpoint, I'm not going to get into the
you
middle
don't
of your
have
family
to.
business.
You
As
don't
far
have
as
to.
medically, like I
Right.
said, you wanted a well check on your mom and your mom.
well, I don't want a well check on my mom. I want my mom to be evaluated because my father needs her. And if she doesn't have to even be evaluated. She just needs to be brought to the hospital so they can then assess to see if she's the health care.
So that's not something an ambulance does. An ambulance is for an acute emergency.
Understood.
If you feel she's having something acutely going on, if you determine that she's not,
Okay. The last thing I'm going to say is I have videos showing that my mom has demanded that if something like this happened, that I do everything in my power to make sure you guys understand. Now, I could be misrepresenting the facts right now altogether, but so far to this point, no one has challenged me. No one has said, because the reality is maybe I need the evaluation. I'm trying to get it for the family.
have you thought about doing that? Maybe getting an evaluation?
I've been doing therapy. I'm the only one, by the way, in the house.
Let's just talk about you for a second.
Yeah.
Let's forget about the house. Are you on any medication?
You know what? I'm gonna refuse to answer that, because of the fact that I am telling you right now that I am part of the community and I need help from my parents. You are, unfortunately, you're a public servant, so what you ask of me is really not relevant at this moment. All that I care about is staying focused
so let me
to
make
get
it
my
relevant
dad
for
to
you.
help.
Right now, I
Why don't
feel
we do
like
this?
something may be going on.
Let's-
and I feel like
Let's say
you
we
need
all
someone to talk to.
let's say we all go and do that. Can we do that at the hospital? Like my sister, my mom, myself, I'll agree. I'll sign something saying you can speak to my doctor. You can speak to my therapist.
At this point, once again, we ruled them out, and I just want to talk to you.
Okay.
Because I feel like you may need someone to talk to.
I have friends. I appreciate the offer.
Okay.
What I will say is this, and I can't stress this enough. My mom, her condition will eventually come in. And I get you're limited with what you can do, but to then point the finger at somebody who's trying to help.
I'm just asking you.
Well, let me ask you this. What would give you the inclining that I am, out of all of us, right, needed some sort of, because you might have something valid here.
I'm just asking, would you be willing to go talk to somebody? I'm not pointing any fingers.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I'm just saying, you know what? Sometimes we all need someone to talk
It makes
to.
sense.
Would
It
you
makes
like to
sense
go talk
because
to
think
somebody?
about it. I had not been told that my own father was you know,
This
is being
some heavy
incubated.
stuff.
It's heavy. It
So-
could wear.
Why don't we go talk to somebody?
So are you demanding
I'm
that
not
I?
demanding anything. I said,
So what are you
would
asking
like
exactly?
To go talk to
Just
somebody?
an offer.
That's it. It's just an offer.
The same
I
way
wouldn't.
you're not going to drag, you can't drag your mother.
Yeah, yeah.
You offer her service, and she can say no.
I
It's
appreciate
all
that.
like you. No one's dragging you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. But I will say, I'm working through this issue, but not having that extra sort of step or just that humanity side of it is really causing me a lot of anxiety. But that's something I'm dealing with my therapist. I'm dealing with my father's family because he doesn't deserve this. They don't deserve it. Yeah.
Earlier we talked about, how if we were not able to bring her to the hospital, we were going to
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm-
I said, how are we going to come to a conclusion that you feel that, this went the way you wanted it to go? So at this point, we're pretty much at the understanding
I'm done.
that you have a lot going on with your family
Yeah.
and, whatever's going on in your life and stuff. So we're just trying to see if, okay, we can't bring her to the hospital. Maybe the next step is to get you somebody to talk to.
I've been there every day. I've been next to my dad every single day.
What hospital is he?
South Nassau. Ever since I found out, I've been by his side. I just got off the phone with his cousins. They're all waiting on me, and I'm failing. That's probably because I haven't gotten an attorney. I was supposed to have a meeting with him this morning. I thought maybe this would have been the better route to go, but clearly, all I'm doing is not what he would have wanted.
So
I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Go ahead,
I
sir.
don't think it's like that. I think you have good intentions here. You care for your father, obviously.
Right, yeah.
Obviously, you wouldn't be here if you didn't care for your father.
Right.
Okay. I just think the law binds our hands a certain way.
I get it.
So it's not that you made the wrong decision. I just think you weren't completely aware of where you were.
What I'm allowed.
legally. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
This makes
which
sense.
Which is where we're trying to point you, saying you got to go to protective services, you can go get a lawyer, you can walk into civil court.
I promise you, Adult Detective Services told me to do
Your
this.
mother can't be by your side right now, or she doesn't want to for some reason. You can. So you can go there. I won't worry about her situation right now.
Yeah.
You do what you have to do for your father. And if there's anything more than that,
I said,
unfortunately, it's not what's going to do. It
It's
sounds like you care, a lot about your father, and if you could be there.
I'm ready to walk away from this whole thing. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys.
We're at the point now
That's
where
what's the most you can do.
she's medically cleared. She doesn't want to go to the hospital. If you're going to refuse any
I don't-
further medical help from us as well,
Yeah.
then we're pretty much done here for now.
Well, listen, let me ask you this. Let's say I do agree to go to the hospital, right? And I say, I'm not really sure why my sister and mother doesn't like me, and it's causing me to be like really upset. That's legit, especially with my dad where he is. I need help, but I need to get a medical. I don't know what my medical history is.
Okay.
Do you see where I'm going with this? Can you guys then somehow make it so that we find out what my medical history is?
Oh yeah, the doctor.
Do you talk to the
You
doctor?
speak to
do
the
the
doctor
blood
and you
test
would-
and
Because it would also be part of the family history, right?
yeah.
And if there's any sort of issues going on with the family, that would have sort of manifest itself on paperwork at some point, right?
So
So
we have no
it's-
problem. Listen, we're not doctors, obviously. You know what I mean? We're police officers and police medics.
Right.
But that doesn't mean we don't have a rapport with the doctors at the hospital. That doesn't mean we can't speak to them, tell them, you're obviously going to tell them their situation if you want to come with us.
Yeah.
And you want to come with us and get a mental evaluation, a full medical evaluation.
I would let them, and I'm going to say this on record. I want everyone in the house, including myself, including my niece, to get together to have a conversation. That's all I want.
You work out amongst the family. We're not going to do that first.
And I'd be willing to do that. I think we should all do that. And when you think about it, there's been a lot of activity at this house. This will really rule out, in the very least, it will rule out so 911 doesn't have to keep getting called. So I don't have to keep getting stressed out. I probably appear like I'm letting you know I don't. My dad needs help. Help me help him. Let's talk
Well,
to the hospital.
that's why I'm trying to point you in the right direction. Because if you feel like the only way to help your dad is to get your mom to the hospital, you need a lawyer. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is why we're trying to point you in that
You
direction.
guys are absolutely right.
We're not trying
I'm
to
gonna let you-
brush you off.
I know.
Don't call it nothing like that.
You're right.
It's unfortunately the law goes a certain way,
Yeah.
and if this is what you feel, your only avenue is through a lawyer. You know what I mean? Through a lawyer and Adult Protective Services, Civil and Family Court.
You're absolutely right, and thank you for being so professional. Again, last night, Adult Protective Services, call 911, have her brought in to be evaluated. That's what they tell me.
Unfortunately, they you got some misinformation.
They could be wrong.
I
Probably
apologize
wrong.
for that.
So what they're saying is, have her brought in to be evaluated for what did you tell them
Fictitious
for her
disorder.
to be evaluated?
Fictitious disorder by yourself, by proxy. My mom has every neighbor believing she has multiple.
Forget every neighbor. So they wanted, Adult Protective Services wanted you to call 911 for her to go in to be evaluated for.
Fictitious disorder, narcissistic
Okay.
personality disorder. She's smart. She's a brilliant woman. There's a reason why.
So
She'll never
them
go.
telling you to have her evaluated is based on whatever it is that you said to them.
No, from what they know about, and you're right. All this is going to come out.
Have they ever met her in person?
I mean, they've seen pictures. They've seen them. They've
So
seen
then
videos.
anything that they told you is based on what you said to them.
No. Okay. So saying is different than proving.
Okay.
So when they see proof, they see actual proof of what's happening, and they say call 911 because that's how you get over there.
Did they come here and visit her?
Adult Protective Services. I spoke to them yesterday. They told me they said call 911.
Okay. So they're going to tell everybody to call 911.
No, she understands narcissistic personality disorder. She understands fictitious disorder. She also understands it's the hardest thing to diagnose, which is why I can't fault anybody here.
Listen,
It's hard.
As I explained to you earlier,
Yeah.
if you can get Adult Protective Services here, and your mother is willing to let her in, the APS into the house and take a look around and talk to her, and then if the worker from APS has any reason to have a different idea of what's going on than us,
Sure.
and they suggest that we should bring her, well then we could go off of that. But until that happens, we're where we are right now.
I completely get it. And I'm I'll let you guys go. I know you've done all that you can, but again, there's videos in which my mom is saying she needs to go to the hospital. She needs help. If you're willing to take the time to listen, I sent it over to them. I'm trying to. It didn't happen today, but I'm trying to think if she mentioned reference of the
If it
future.
was-
He's showing pictures from 3-4 years ago.
I can show you a picture from
Yeah.
1980.